Hey, welcome.
Hey. Welcome to the Holiday Food and Wine Pairing live stream presented by Anolon and Kendall-Jackson. We're going to be live streaming and covering meals from Thanksgiving to New Year's Eve.
We're coming to you live here from the Kendall-Jackson Wine Estates and Gardens in beautiful Sonoma County in the heart of the Russian River Valley.
So my name is Irvin Lin. I am the Anolon food blogging partner and holiday hosting guide. My blog is Eat the Love, and you can follow me on all the social media channels at Eat the Love.
And my name is Pedro Rusk. I'm a wine educator here at Kendall-Jackson, and you can follow me along on our social medias at kendalljackson.com.
Let's move on to New Year's.
All right, one of our favorite times of the year.
Is almost here, which
Coming
is a little
up.
scary.
Yes.
So with New Year's, instead of doing the course meals that we did here before, we're going to do little small bites and appetizers. Because I figure with a New Year's dinner or New Year's party, people are going to be mingling and walking around, and it's just kind of nice to have little nibbly bites.
You said it, New Year's party, not dinner.
Yes, exactly.
So,
exactly.
Exactly.
So what we're doing here is we have a grilled beef tenderloin bruschetta with Swiss chard, shallots, and pine nuts.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, and what's great about this is it has a smokiness to it because every single component is grilled, from the bread in the bruschetta to the tenderloin itself to even the Swiss chard. It's all on the grill.
Okay, so
smokiness.
red flag question. What if I live in New York and I don't have a grill? I'm in a
Move
little
to
tiny
California.
apartment.
Move to California.
What if?
All right.
All right.
So you know you can easily make all these components on the stove or in the oven too.
Okay.
So Anolon has an awesome pan with ridges. So you can actually get those little grill marks if you want to do that.
The side by
Yeah,
sides,
totally,
right?
Yeah, exactly. Or you can do it in a regular pan or put it in the oven and kind of do it that way. With the bread, you can put it in the toaster oven if you want to do it that way.
Perfect.
So there's all these different options. It's a pretty adaptable recipe.
Nice. So our pairing with this one was pretty straightforward. I mean, every time you have beef, you're pretty much going to go straight to Cabernet.
That makes sense.
So with this one, we chose, this is a Cabernet we're very proud of. This is our Grand Reserve Cabernet. This is from Sonoma County, right here where we're standing. The thing that's really great about this wine is that this is almost entirely mountain fruit.
Okay.
And the key difference with mountain fruit is that, you know, as you go up a hillside, the berries or the grapes themselves become a little smaller and the flavors inside them become more concentrated.
Why are they smaller?
Well, on the valley floor, there's a little more water. There's a little more richness in the soil.
Yeah, because everything kind of like falls.
It falls down to the bottom. So if you go up on the hill, there's not as much ability for it to succeed.
So the berries are like struggling a little bit more.
Exactly,
Okay.
a little more wind.
But that's good. You want this to struggle.
Exactly,
Okay.
because then they become a little thicker skins.
Okay.
As we talked about, those skins and the flavor.
Okay.
So this should be a pretty flavorful wine. Give it a shot.
Okay.
Uh,
Nice.
Cabernet and beef are hand in hand, best friends, kind of like mushrooms and Pinot Noir. Beef fat lays across your tongue, is nice and rich, and the tannins and cab can pull that off, make it ready for all that, for the bread and for the Swiss chard to pop in there.
That's
it's
nice.
perfect. Isn't it
Nice
nice?
and bold, yeah.
It's a beautiful wine.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, everybody's favorite, right?
Those are awesome. Those are so these are mushroom arancinis with sottocinere cheese, which is a truffle cheese on the inside.
Ooh.
And what's great about this is you've got the wild mushroom risotto that they use to do the outside, and you've got that truffle cheese on the inside. So it's like umami with umami. So they're kind of like these umami bombs.
Nice.
Yeah, what's a little bit more difficult about these is you have to cook the risotto first, let it cool, and then form the arancinis balls by wrapping the rice around the cheese itself, and then deep frying it. You like dip it in the batter, or you dip it in the bread. And so it's a little bit more complicated.
It's a little bit of a process.
It's a little bit more of a process. It's not super complicated, it's a little bit more of a process. So I always recommend that you have easier appetizers for other things that you do, and for this one, maybe spend a little bit more time with this. But you can make these ahead of time. You can make the components ahead of time, and or you can just make this ahead of time and let it cool a little bit, and then warm them up in the oven so they crisp up a little bit before you serve.
I love that this is the umami on umami bomb,
Yeah,
because
it's the umami bomb.
you know, when we talk about sweet on sweet's not so good, but with food pairings, umami on umami is actually something that really does well. So note to self, if you're doing things like parmesans and things of that nature, mushroom on mushroom, mushroom on parmesan, way to go.
Yeah.
So with this one, once again, umami on umami, mushroom on mushroom, as we were talking about before, we're gonna go with Pinot Noir.
Nice.
Yeah, this is kind of gonna ride the horse right into the stable. So we're looking at our Vintners Reserve Pinot Noir. This is a California appellation. So what we have here, this is great because this is the strength of this wine. We have quite a nice amount of Russian River fruit in here.
Okay.
We have some Monterey fruit and some Santa Barbara.
Oh, okay.
So we're blending
It's a
all
little
of
bit blend.
California together
Oh,
to try to
nice.
show off what Pinot
California
Noir
in a
of
bottle.
California can be. Exactly. So with the mushroom components in here and a little fried, little salty, get that savory, perfect.
Awesome.
No brainer.
Yeah.
Easy peasy.
That sounds great. I can't wait.
I know. Ooh, look what we have now. Everybody's favorite.
Yeah, caramel corn.
Caramel corn.
So this is caramel corn, which is a total crowd pleaser as well. Everyone loves caramel corn. It was like when I got those giant tins as a kid, the caramel corn was always gone.
Right.
People don't think about making caramel corn at home, but when you do it, it's not that hard to do.
Right.
The two things I always recommend is one, when you make the caramel yourself, you're cooking the sugar on the stovetop, always have a big bowl of ice water.
And why?
Because caramel if it ever splatters, and hopefully it doesn't,
Okay.
it's gonna burn. So you always want to have that bowl of ice water just in case. It's always just kind of nice to have it. But I don't think people should be scared about doing caramel at all. It's a super easy thing to do. If you have, you just make sure to look at it and watch the temperature, and you're good to go. But just have that bowl of ice water right there.
My recommendation as the wine expert here, if you have a bowl of ice water next to you, you should put a bottle of bubbles in it.
Perfect.
Okay.
Yes. Don't drink while you're making the caramel, though. I'd wait till after the caramel.
You don't want to spill in the caramel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Or be a little tipsy while you're making the caramel. That would be bad. So once you've done that and you've coated the popcorn, you want to put it on a baking pan and stick it in the oven.
Okay.
And that kind of crisps everything up. It's kind of nice.
Gives you that nice crunch.
Yeah, it gives you that nice crunch. And the nice thing about caramel popcorn, people don't think about this, but you can customize it yourself. So you can do, a little bit of cayenne pepper if you want to make it spicy. You can throw in extra salt if you want to do a salted caramel thing. You can do savory. I've done rosemary in it before, which is a really great combination, rosemary and caramel.
Could you do like a Christmas style?
You can do a Christmas style with like cloves or orange zest. You can do cinnamon, nutmeg. You can do all these different things.
Cool.
It's pretty
that would be a little fun twist.
Yeah, it's totally customizable. So that's what's great about caramel popcorn.
Nice. So with caramel, and once again, we're heading right into giving me the cues. Caramel, is like a vanillin kind of a thing. And with vanillin in wine, we often associate it with oak.
Okay.
Oak and Chardonnay are very good friends. They give it that vanilla and rich kind of creamy tone. So we used our late harvest Chardonnay with this one.
Okay.
And this is something that here at Kendall-Jackson with our food and wine pairings, we've been doing this combination for many years.
Nice.
It's a match made in heaven. We've got some buttery and rich notes from the late harvest Chardonnay, but there's a little bit of acid that's there. So you get the caramel, that rich tone, a little bit of the salt on there, then the acid, and they play together incredibly well.
Right.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So if I, again, am only serving just one wine for all the thing, and I'm just like, it's the evening, I want to have one wine, what do I do?
With the apps that we were looking at, I would say I would go with the Grand Reserve Cabernet for sure. Yeah, there is some tannin and some strength in this, but when you have umami on umami, you're going to have that umami bomb. This will stand up to it, and it's also going to stand up to the steak. So in this instance, we're going to definitely go with the Grand Reserve Cabernet.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Definitely.
That's great.
So if you have any questions or anything about the recipes or any of the wines that you saw us pouring tonight, please submit them to Anolon or KJ on Facebook and use the hashtag Holiday Hosting. Please remember to follow us at Anolon and at KJ Wines.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you
so
all
much.
for showing
Good night.
up.
Happy
Good night.
holidays.
Cheers.
Yeah,
Cheers.
Awesome.
All right.
Yeah.
So now we can get the popcorn. Yeah, I know, exactly.